Welcome to the Money Watch Show. This is the program that attempts to take the mystery out of your financial life. I am your co-host, Jill Schlesinger, and I'm joined by my co-host, none other than Mark Talercio. Hello, Mark, and how's it going today? It's January. We are in the middle of like that winter doldrum. How are you feeling?
Hello, Jill. I'm feeling well. It is the 16th of January because you didn't give the date. You usually give the date.
Oh, I forgot to do that. It is the 16th of January. You're right. See, yep. I'm out of practice. That's what happens when you take a couple weeks off.
Halfway through the first month of the year.
But you know what I love about January? I love that the Martin Luther King holiday kind of takes it off, a little the edge off. Because, it's like, we know that, after tomorrow we get Monday off. Markets are closed on Monday. Okay. So don't forget that. So happy January more than anything else. And I think that this is going to be such a fascinating year. We're talking about a new administration. We will be excited to hear about all of the really cool stuff that is about to happen, which is going to affect you. And it can be anything from, changes to the tax code to maybe there are going to be tariffs, maybe they're not going to be tariffs. I don't know. But what I do know is that Mark and I will be here pouring over all of this in order to help you out. Hey, Mark, you know what I was delighted to find out when I started the year? I was like, what's going on this year? What's new? And then I realized that the Secure Act 2.0, you ready for this? There's this little narrow window of people who are age 60, 61, 62, and 63 in 2025. Guess what you can do, Mark? You can put even more money as a catch-up contribution. Can you believe it? That's insane. And I might add, I get to take advantage of it this year. I'm so happy.
I was going to say, how many people can actually take advantage of it?
Well, people who have money, there's that. So that's good. The catch up for anyone, just to keep an eye on this, because they asked me to do this on the air for CBS News on our morning show. And I'm like, okay, guys, this is only people who have money. We don't have enough people who are actually maxing out today. But if you're 60, 61, 62, or 63, by December of 31st of this calendar year, you ready? You can put in not an extra $7,500. You can put in $11,250. Are you crazy? Come on. It's just incredible to me. That is such a giveaway. I mean, I'll take it. Don't worry. I'm happy to do it. Right. So, so if you're 50 and older, you can do 30,500, but now we're talking about 35 grand. Come on. It's incredible to me. This is such a boondoggle. Like I said, I'll take advantage of the boondoggle, but you're letting me put away $34,250 in this calendar year. That's a lot.
And then you can do a backdoor Roth and add on to that.
Yeah. I mean, geez, it's a lot. Okay. So if you're 60, 61, 62, or 63, congratulations. You are in the lucky age bracket club. How much do you hate it if you're 64? I gotta tell you, you're 64. Sorry, you can only do the 50 plus. You can only do the 7,500. Why is that?
It seems very odd.
Completely
that's
random.
A good question for Ed Slott.
Yeah, that's completely rando. And this is how they say, it was a broad effort to encourage more workers to save for retirement. Are you kidding me? That it's a way to give rich people a way to save more. That's it. That's all you got. That's not like the way you encourage more people to save for retirement is to make it really easy to save for retirement, like making it mandatory that there is a way that people can actually put money into retirement plans. That's it. That's how you do it. Okay. I'm done proselytizing. If you are 60, 61, 62, or 63 in this year, again, remember that has to be this year, get in touch with us. We'll help you put that money away. And any age, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the contact us button, write us a note, and check the box if you would like to join us on the air. We have somebody to whom this new rule makes absolutely no sense and I'm sure has no application. We're talking to Artie, who's from the Midwest. Artie, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Are you mad? I don't know what that is. Is that like so? Does that piss you off? It would piss me off if I'm 30.
No, I mean, I don't really think about that right now. So,
all right. What are you thinking about? What can we do?
So I'm a resident doctor in the Midwest, pretty low cost of living city. I was able to hit a lot of my financial goals in the last year and a half with some extra moonlighting money. So that's picking up some extra shifts for extra pay at the hospital.
Okay.
I paid off a little bit of credit card debt. I developed an emergency fund, and I've been maxing out my Roth IRA, which really was like my goal for residency. I think a lot
That's
of folks,
great.
yeah, I think a lot of folks don't get to save for any retirement during residency, just because usually money's a little tight during that time. But that was my goal. And so I think this next year I'll be able to max out again, but I'm wondering if there's something else I could do with a little bit extra money. I have an option for an FSA. We have a 457B, but there's no matching with that. I'm a little hesitant to put away too much, not too much, but like more money in retirement that's not flexible. But I was just curious what your thoughts are or any other things that I could be taking advantage of.
Okay. So you're a resident right now. How much do you earn as a resident?
Right now I make about 70 base, and then I'll probably make another like 15 from
moonlighting
in 2025. Okay. Yeah.
And on the 70 base, you use that base to contribute to a workplace retirement plan?
No. So I don't use any of that for a workplace retirement. I just have my like a Vanguard Roth IRA. And then I have a 401k actually through my moonlighting. Weirdly, they do a little bit of matching. Okay. So I've built up about 5,000 in that.
Okay. You were able to max out the Roth contribution for last year, the $7,000, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And in the resident plan, is that where you have the 457B also? Is that
yes?
Okay. And there's no match. Is there a Roth option in that?
I don't know, actually.
Because I feel like I don't know what kind of doctor you're going to be, but you're probably going to make a lot more than $70,000. So as much as possible to be like funnel money into any sort of Roth option right now makes a ton of sense for you.
Yeah.
It should really be only Roth. Okay.
Yeah, that makes
Unless
sense.
they say to you like, oh, we have this again on your 401k through the moonlighting income. Is that a pre-tax or is that Roth?
That's a pre-tax, but I just do up to the match that they give me.
Okay. And they only allow that to go into pre-tax?
Yes, for that one. Yeah.
All right. So you're doing that for the match. And then the 70,000, let's find out if you have a Roth option, because that would be good. Not that you have to. You probably have other priorities. So the credit card debt is gone?
Yes, that's all gone.
Great. Okay. And the emergency reserve, how much is in there?
Right now I have 13,000. And that's just in a high yield savings. Are
you renting right now? Or are you just sleeping at the hospital?
A lot of times at the hospital, but I own my house. Pretty good.
Really?
Interest rate. Yeah. Physicians have like a physician loan. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
Yes, absolutely.
So I took advantage of that a couple years ago, and I've been in this house for now 2.5 years.
What's it worth?
It's probably worth around 200.
And what is the mortgage that's outstanding, and what's the interest rate?
It's about 170, and the interest rate is 3.75.
Okay. Now, how many more years do you have in residency? A nice long, like surgical residency. Do I have like 4 or 5 more years or no?
Yeah, I have a bit more time. So I've at least 3.5, and then if I do a fellowship, it'd be another 1 or 2 years.
But that 3.5 is there. Would the fellowship necessarily be there where you are?
Not necessarily. No, I might move for that.
Okay. What do you think your priorities are right now? Because you probably want some flexibility in case, for 3.5 years, I get it. You're like working your butt off. You've got your house. You've got your, your savings. All of that is good. But what would you like to have as a priority for you?
I guess, it is a little bit something for like something tax advantage for retirement. But I get what you're saying with the Roth. That makes sense. It does feel nice having that something saved now. I feel pretty good.
What do you spend on an ongoing basis, would you guess?
It depends. Right now I'm doing a little more travel, but in like a normal month, it'd probably be $1,500 on the mortgage and insurance utilities, and then another $1,500 to $2,000 on everything else.
All right. So like $3,500.
Sure.
So when you look at like your cash flow right now, what do you think is left over? And again, use the bigger number. Like you work hard, you're allowed to like have some fun. So what do you think is the the flexibility that you have like in your cash flow? What do you think is the extra little padding that's coming in after expenses?
Probably about a little less than $1,000 a month.
Okay. So we've got $1,000 a month to think about. You're not quite at your emergency reserve goal, because it really should be more like 6 to 12 months, but not that you're going to lose your job. It's hard to get kicked out of a residency.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing I'm saving up for is there's a gap between when you graduate residency and start fellowship or start a job.
Yeah.
There's a couple months there where you don't make any money. And I also have a brokerage account as well. I forgot to mention that.
Okay. How much is in the brokerage account?
17,000.
Oh, that's okay. So you have money. Okay, that's fine. What about, you have student loans? I mean, most doctors have like sick student loans.
Yeah, I have student loans. Yeah.
What do you got?
I have about 280,000.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. And that's almost none of that's from undergrad. That's all just medical school.
So what are you in, like forbearance while during residency, or do you make, what do you got going?
So all of those are federal loans. So, especially during COVID, you get about a year of not having to pay anything if you do an income-based repayment, and then COVID pauses and all that. So I'm about to just start repaying some more on that. I just applied for the pay program because the program I was in before, SAVE, is stuck in legal limbo, and they now opened it up to switch over, I think, just last month. So when that starts up, I'll probably pay around $350 a month.
Okay. What are the interest rates that are associated with the loan about?
It's about 6.2, but I plan to do PSLF for most of that.
Okay. So there will be, so public service loan forgiveness is on the table. So you're going to make some sort, so that's why it does not make sense for you. When you talk about public service loan forgiveness, gang, we're talking about the ability where Artie will go work for some nonprofit or some hospital or chain or whatever, and not be a for-profit, like, doing noses and boobs as a plastic surgeon, which, by the way, nothing wrong with that. I probably should have done that a long time ago. But you are going to be mindful that you're going to take a job where you're going to have 10 years where you can do that, right? Does residency count towards that or not?
Residency does, as long as you're at a nonprofit, which most residents are. So all this, my 7 to 8 years of training is going to count towards that 10.
All right. So that's good. So even if you had to take less money for a few years, who cares? Like, this is too important. Okay. Mark, do you have any questions for Artie? Do you want to know when he's coming in to do my nose job? I made him a plastic surgeon out of, I don't know why. I didn't even, you didn't mention that. So for all I know, he's going to be like a colorectal surgeon. I hope I never need you. So, Mark, what else do you want to know from Artie?
You mentioned FSA, no HSA?
I think I meant to say HSA.
Oh, HSA we could use.
Wait.
And I would use. No, HSA is the one where it's the health savings account that you can take with you, as opposed to the FSA, which stays there. It's
an FSA. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one that's very foreign to me because I don't use it at all. I think I have like one co-resident that I know that uses it. But
yeah, it's not one of those. I mean, HSAs are great because an HSA, a health savings account, is a way to save for future healthcare costs, and you can take it with you. Whereas the flexible spending account, you can put a few $1,000s away pre-tax, and you got to use it within a calendar year or 15 months. And, it's kind of a pain in the neck. But if you find out it is an HSA, that is something that's interesting to us. Okay. I don't know, Mark. I'm thinking that, so we've got this $1,000 a month. $350 is going to be going to the student loans, which means $650. Of that $650, I would say if we can do some in the $457, if it's a Roth, yes. Otherwise, I'd put that that $650 into your brokerage account and call it a day. If you want to have some more savings, just because maybe as you get closer to understanding, how does a fellowship work? Do you like apply for that and it's like a match thing, like the residency, or will you know more in advance?
Yeah, it's just like that. I'll know probably about a year before I start the fellowship what I'm doing.
Mark, are you ever impressed that I know a lot about this stuff? It's because I put an ex-husband through half of his medical training.
You're a well-rounded person, Joe.
I am. It's such a weird. I think that the medical profession, it's a very weird structure where it doesn't lend to financial planning as well as you would think. except that you'll hopefully get a job where you get paid money. In your field, which you don't have to articulate right now, even if you didn't do the fellowship, how much do you think you could make?
Starting would be anywhere between 350 to 450, depending on where you work.
I like that. That sounds good. I think that's good.
He's going to save a ton of money because I can just tell by talking to him, he's not the kind of guy that he's going to go out and blow all that money. He's so used to spending so little. Man, he's going to be stockpiling the money.
Wait, Artie, do you have a partner, a girl or a boyfriend that could help you spend that money?
Yeah, I have a partner, but they're not going to be spending all that money. I don't think.
All right. All right. That's good. Any other reason to have cash on hand for you right now? Is there something like you need a car?
I own my car,
Okay.
so that's good.
But nothing else that's big on the horizon, right?
No, nothing big. No wedding, no kid, no nothing like that.
All right. Well, call us when that happens. I'm excited. I think you're in good shape. I think preference to Roth, preference to liquidity. Keep doing what you're doing. The public loan forgiveness, the public service loan forgiveness, fantastic for someone like you. So awesome. And then we'll see where you end up. Like give us a holler back. If all of a sudden you're like, and by the way, my moonlighting, it's not 15,000, it's 50,000. Oh boy, you'd have to do a lot of work for moonlighting of 50,000. But if all of a sudden something changes, let us know and we'll be happy to help you out. So, Artie from the Midwest, going to be a doctor. Mark, I knew you love that number, $280,000 in student loan debt. That really takes one's breath away, don't you think?
I mean, it's to be expected in that industry, but on the other hand, the next breath, I expect to hear that most of it's going to be forgiven. Yeah,
I hope. But if you are someone in your training and you're looking at, you're staring down the barrel of these kinds of numbers, give us a holler. We'd be happy to help you out. Remember, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and we'd love to have you on the air, especially in these situations. So check the box if you're cool to come on the air. Don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every single Friday. Mark Talercio is the co-host, executive producer, and king of all things web at Jill on Money. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen and try to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Paramount Podcasts.